Good afternoon, everybody. What's up, everybody? It's a Saturday. I just figured I'll give some updates that's going on. I've been to, in my division anyway, in MaBstoa, I completed shop gating every place that I represent, and I just want to give you some updates on some of the things you may or may not know already, but some of the things that we're finding very important. I just recently started going on the routes, and just to get a feel of what's going on out there. I started on the M42. I'm making my way around the system. My goal is to basically ride every line in the system and basically get a real life synopsis of what's going on. One of my reasons why I even rode the line the other day was I wanted to hear the messaging that was being delivered by the command center, and if the messaging was a bit confusing to the customers regarding our stroller pilot program that the MTA has instituted. And speaking of the stroller committee or stroller policy that they put into place, we recently ran into an incident in the Bronx, on Westchester Avenue and Colgate. Good afternoon, brother Glenn Wilson. Westchester Avenue, Colgate, on the BX, the BX4 and BX4A. So apparently a stroller had got into a little bit of a situation on our bus. We're not clear on what happened. What we do know is that it was a situation where maybe the stroller bumped into somebody or whatever the case may be, and a fight ensued on the bus, and in that fight, or as a result of that fight, 2 arrests were made. I happened to be on the scene at that time and witnessed the arrest being made, and we reported on that to News 12, and to get some media attention on the fact, at least from the union's position, where we always felt and spoke on the safety hazard of the stroller committee, and of course that fell on deaf ears. But what our goal was is to protect our operators through policy, and for the most part, we have protected our operators through policy. But these issues do exist. This is why we never wanted our operators involved in telling people to get up out of a certain location in the first place, because the situation with the violence that's out there, people just don't care. So we don't want people to agitate people, and we especially don't want our operators involved in agitating people. So we took the liberty of making a policy that was beneficial to our operators. Now, also, I want to move that on a little bit and talk about an assault that had happened in Gun Hill Depot, and it was a bus operator by the name of Brother Luciano. They were sent down. They got assaulted, and they were sent down for fitness for duty. And in that time frame, I got a phone call from the chairman of the depot, and I was informed of what was going on, and it caused me to reach out to a high level of management to figure out why the lower managers didn't follow their policies and procedures, and why they sent our member down for fitness when they should have sent our member down to the hospital. Anyway, the supervision has since been spoken to. I ain't at liberty to really speak too much on it, but things basically happened and heads rolled. The big issue that may or may not mean anything to anybody, and that's the MaBstoa dispatcher's exam. Exam number 3208. Now, it had gotten reopened, and I spoke about this already. I'm just kind of reiterating. That exam got reopened on October 1st, and it was to allow transit operations support coordinators. Now, when I did some research to find out who, in fact, are these transit support coordinators, it was found that they were the supervisors of traffic checking. Now, I have a big problem with the fact that they're being allowed to participate in the exam, because they already were hourly. They're still hourlies, but they were already in a position where they got a upgrade. They got an upgrade to the level 1 and level 2 supervisors. The bus operators, however, that's been something that's always been a pathway to promotion. So I took a position against it. It's not that I have anything against those particular members. I feel as though that TSO, which was Local 106, they were supposed to, when they tried to make such a deal, I felt that they were supposed to include Local 100 in that deal. They did not. So now we're going to be sitting in front of an arbitrator. Now that arbitration date is now scheduled for November 17th. All right, so I'll be reporting back on that to let you know what's going on. There's giving you another update on 130 Livingston Street. There was a letter sent to our union president, informing the local that they had a plan to privatize 130 Livingston Street, and that they would do a pick for the workforce that's in there. Now, that workforce that's in there is maintenance away and property protection. Now we're consolidated in MaBstoa, so it affects us too. So a grievance has also been filed on that particular issue, and we expect to win that, because we have 3 decisions, which is called the Vapor Award, And this is something that came out back in the late 80s, where it basically lets the decision basically say that that's our bargain work, that's our bargain work area. You can't put us out of it. So that's something that's going to be put on the table, and we expect to win that, right? Our Secretary Treasurer, Richard Davis, he's in charge of safety. He's been meeting on the issues of assault. Good afternoon, Brother Battaglia. Richard Davis has been meeting on the on assaults with local governments, state and federal governments, and including MTA management. So we're seriously trying to do something about what's going on out there. Now I want to put caution to the wind, all right, because we've been having some situations now. Assaults that are going on out there. There's no way that we're gonna take that, and this is why we're taking many of the actions that we're taking. But the caution that I want to put to the wind is that when you not when you what I want to caution you is don't be the cause of your assault. All right, and what do I mean by that? You got a person that got a gun, or if you got a person who's making threats. Once you open all four doors and then you let them off the bus, there's no reason to let them back on. Do not be the reason why an assault happened to you. What your job is to do is to diffuse the situation at any cost. And diffusing that situation is making sure that you get home to your family safely. Do not be on a suicide mission. All right. We got as a matter of fact, it doesn't really have anything to do with MaBstoa, but it is part of our union, and that is the school bus company up in Miles Square. We did a 19A inspection over there because they were disrespecting the chairwoman over there and many of the workers. And I got to tell you, if you think you got it bad, you got to see how they treat these school bus operators and the school bus operator helpers who they pay them when they want. There's many things that they, even though they have a contract, they just do things to them. So we went up there in a local 100 force, and we pretty much shut down the school bus yard. And that's like a catch-22 because we don't really want to be impactful or responsible for a kid not being able to get to school on time. But at the same time, we have to send a message that's meaningful to let you know that these guys is unionized. They fall under our umbrella, and we're going to help them when need be. And that's very simple process. You know, as a union, we it's like the bees, like a hive. If you attack a bee, the hive is going to come. And that's how we got to look at ourselves in Local 100. We got to be ready to send the beehive where it needs to go, you know, and that's very important. Line stewards program. Okay, so there's a line stewards program that's going on in Manhattan, and we're talking about some similar activity to go on in the Bronx. And really what we want you to know out there is where the hot spots are. Where the hot spots in accidents, the hot spots, like maybe a traffic light where's a problem, hot spots on maybe a turn that you got to pay a little bit more attention to, or maybe a hot spot where it's been a known area where people have been attacked through assault. So these are some of the things that we're trying to put into place, and let you know and keep you aware of what's going on. Sean Battaglia The Manhattan division actually is doing a excellent job in that particular field. And Claude Marshall, division chairman of the Bronx, we are going to go out and we're going to do what we need to do out there and help keep you guys safe. All right. So basically, that's my little report today. It wasn't that long, but if you got any questions for me, I'll take them offline. I just wanted to give y'all a little quick update of what's going on, and hopefully, we can make us all stronger together. Oh, let me not. We got an election coming up. It's a pretty important election. It's a governor's race election, and I'm going to tell you guys, you know, I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote for the person who I feel is a stronger person on labor. Right? I'm not really here to tell people what to do. You know, there's a lot of criticism of what's going on because the crime that's been going on under their watch. But I think some of these things is being misrepresented because a lot of these things started going on since the pandemic. And the pandemic, there's a lot that's going on. The pandemic issues, the issues, I can go back to when NYPD was, they was really they was putting a lot of restraints on NYPD. And some reasons were good reasons and some reasons maybe not. Maybe as a result was what you're seeing going on out there, maybe it wasn't such a good thing. Now, with NYPD, I remember there was a situation in Coney Island, and some of the kids out there just threw water on the police and demeaned the police officer, and everybody laughed about it, and it was just considered okay. But these are the things that once they're what I could call testers. You put that situation out there as a test. Nothing happens. Let me see if I can go a little further. Nothing happens. Let me see if I can go a little further than that, and then nothing happens. And then it all happens like a domino effect. And here we are today. New York City is right now is like the wild, wild west. But in fact, a lot of folks say New York City, but it's all over the place. If you look on the internet, you look on what's going on with assaults and things like that on bus operators and transit workers, it's nationwide. So you hear, you got a governor's race. You got the governor's race between Kathy Hochul and Lee Zeldin. And you have to make the choice, and you got to make the choice for you and your family. I will tell you that for me, I'm going to go the route of what I think is going to be best for labor. But what's best for labor may in other people's eyes mean something different for something else. So you got to make up your mind. I mean, I've learned a big, valuable lesson. I don't go on a platform and tell people what to do when it comes to politics, right? And reason being, because it's almost like the Bible or religion. And you start talking about politics, and then next thing you know, you're arguing and fighting about politics. And I'm gonna tell you, I don't want to fight with none of my coworkers. I don't want to fight with none of my members over politics. I'll tell them straight up. I'll tell them what I think, but I ain't gonna argue with you about it. Because it's not for me to convince you. Look at what the issues are. Look at the issues for yourself and make a decision based on those issues. And with that being said, brothers and sisters, listen, have a wonderful Saturday. Be safe out here. Keep your head on a swivel. It's just plain different out here. So you got to watch what's going on around you. All right? Be safe, everybody.